I went to the hospital or like the emergency room, like 'cause I thought like something was wrong. Like this never happened in my
Hmm.
life. It's gonna get better. It's like trust. Like it's going to get better, even though like it doesn't feel like it, or you're still like struggling, just little by little. It's going to get better, you know.
Hello, everyone. Today I sit down with Jill. As you can imagine, Jill struggled with insomnia for some time, and I had the pleasure of working with him and helping him out of his insomnia for good. Jill recently messaged me and said that he feels that his sleep has gradually returned to the point where he feels like he no longer has insomnia, and I would agree. I love doing these sort of stories because not only is Jill a great guy who deserves to be over insomnia for good, but it also gives a lot of hope for anyone watching out there who are still struggling with insomnia. So without further ado, here's my talk with Jill. All right, Jill, welcome to the program.
Hey,
Welcome to Insomnia to Peace. It's great to have you here.
yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, John.
So we've been working together for a bit of time now, and with these sort of success stories, it's always best to start off with how your insomnia started and what things look like for you before.
Yeah, it just started during this time. I was a bit worried about a situation, and then I couldn't sleep one night, and then one night turned to 2 nights, and then it turned to 3 nights, and then I went to the hospital or like the emergency room, like 'cause I thought like something was wrong. Like this never happened in my
Hmm.
life, you know. And then after that, I was just scared and anxious all the time about sleep, and sleep was on my mind 24/7. It really
Hmm.
like ruled my life during that time.
Yeah. As far as going to the hospital goes, well, some questions. What exactly happened when you went to the hospital? It sounds like, it was a few days of no sleep. You're hoping that you might have assumed that you had some medical issue, something wrong with your body.
Yeah, or it just I don't know. It just never experienced it. So and my dad was like, "Bro, let's go to the ER," you know. And I
Hmm.
was just per panic, per just fear, like just thinking is something wrong with me, or like why is this happening?
Yeah. And what happened when you got to the hospital?
Nothing. They just gave me some some pills and just told me to go talk to your regular doctor. See if this will help. Go make an appointment with your regular doctor.
Yeah, and I'm pretty certain I know what the answer is going to be already. But how helpful were the pills that they gave you?
It's honestly like it wasn't really helpful because I was just anxious the whole time, just so scared. And even if I like do sleep a little bit, maybe if it was off it, I would still wake up the next day with just the fear of like, is this forever? Is this
Hmm.
is this really how my life's gonna be now?
Yeah, yeah, spot on. That's the sort of although there are a lot of medications that people often take with insomnia, and although those medications can produce a bit of a sedation effect, it really doesn't do much for the aversion to losing sleep that we've developed, which is at this point, especially if you're going a long time without any sleep, the aversion is extremely high, and
Hmm.
it can sort of complicate things when we take this medication because whenever we take it, there's always that underlying hope of, man, I hope this works. I mean, that's why we're taking it in the first place, of course. But the next part of that statement of that thought is, I hope this works because the thought of having another night of no sleep is just unbearable to me. So, okay, took the pill and I'm going to bed, and okay, here we go. Hopefully this goes well tonight. And it, sometimes the medications can help people because it makes them feel safe, but it's usually more like a short-term placebo or delegation effect because it's not
Hmm.
addressing the root cause of it. But often, it's also very often the case that the medication doesn't really do much.
Yeah. Or, yeah. I just
Um,
even if my bad. I just wanted to add on. Yeah. Even with the medication, I was still like when I And I'd be so tired, like with no sleep, and then I told myself I'm just gonna lay down, but I couldn't. My heart beating to the max. I couldn't breathe through my nose. I just felt constant panic. Like like it was like it just life was at the lowest I ever been in my life. I never experienced nothing like this.
Yeah. And something I meant to ask you before was what, and maybe you don't want to go into details, but um, can you speak at a high level as to what the thing was that initially gave you stress? Was it stress about something at work, or was it stress about like a personal relationship or anything like
Yeah,
that?
it was about a relationship. I was just worried of a situation
Hmm.
that might not even happen, and then it just that put me just anxious, and then I couldn't sleep one night, and then I was at the first time I'd done all nighters before, so I thought it was no big deal. But then when I couldn't sleep the second and the third night, I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm tired. I just want to go to sleep, but I can't. I'm like, why am I scared? And
Yeah.
then you go on that rabbit hole. You search everything online, try to figure out why can't I sleep. You go on Reddit, and then I don't know, like just going on Reddit, just oh my god, it puts me in like the worst mode or worst like fear mode ever.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't say. It's not exactly the most helpful stuff. It's just a lot of other people saying, I'm going through the exact same thing. Nothing I've tried works. There's no hope. There's no end to this. It's all, life is just going to be nothing but pain and suffering from now on. Is that the sort of vibe that you got?
yes.
Yeah. As far as the, you mentioned that you experienced all-nighters before. Were these voluntary all-nighters where maybe you were out late partying or something like that?
When it first happened, right? Or when?
Not when it first happened, but you said you said experienced all nighters before, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just when you're a kid, you're playing in summer break, you're playing video games and all that. Like you'll just have online. It's like, oh, no big deal. Like it's nothing to be scared. But then when it happens again and again, and like, oh, you just couldn't just go in panic mode. Like, bro, is this really happening? Like, why is this happening?
yeah, yeah, and it sounds like the fear for you came on really quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Is that while you were wrestling with the fear, what did you do to try to help manage the fear?
Uh, bro, I would just go online, just try to find something. I did someone told me tremolity, then I tried melatonin and some other
Mhm.
ones, and then nothing, nothing really like helped. The fear of just not sleeping or just I don't know why it was just like took control of everything and made everything pointless.
It kind of lost you a little bit towards the end there, but you said it took control of everything. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And did you find yourself starting to make decisions in your day-to-day life that you didn't have to make before? Like maybe being a little bit more careful about what you ate or what you drank?
Yeah, like hanging out with friends. I would be scared. Like I wouldn't want to go places, but I knew I was gonna come home late. Traveling, just thinking like I don't know. Before I always like one day I want to start a family or something. I was like I just started worrying like I can't do that right now. I can't like what if this putting yourself in situations in the future
Yeah.
how like not sleeping is gonna destroy everything.
Did you I'm curious. Did your because this was a very this had a huge impact on your social life. Did your friends and family notice that something was off, or what did that look like?
Just just my dad because me and him are pretty close and all that.
Uh huh.
But you can just see like because you could kind of tell if you know someone how your just facial expression, how you just like I just remember like because I wouldn't be sleeping at all, and then you'll have like that where you kind of zone out a bit, or you just your reaction is a little bit slower, and then my dad had noticed that and everything. But other than that, like no one really like noticed nothing, Like, they thought it was normal, but like in the inside, like I felt like only I can only I knew what I'm really going through. You know,
Yeah.
I never really like try to like bring in conversations that I have this or that. Like I
Mhm.
just kept it to myself. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
it's like if I would tell them, or I told a couple friends, but they were like just saying just close your eyes. I was like, well, if I would close my eyes, you think like if it was that easy, you think I would not be sleeping? No, like
Yeah.
it was just like kind of frustrating. And then you go with like friends or family, or they're taking naps somewhere. They talk about naps. Like I will get like just that sense of like terrible, guilt. Like damn, I wish that was me, or I wish I'm not. I don't have these sleepy eyes. I wish I'm not tired
Yeah.
mentally and physically.
Yeah. That's it's important that you said that because friends and family, although they're obviously well intentioned, they thought they were being helpful, but usually the advice that friends and family give us when we're going through insomnia is not really the most helpful thing. So people often suggest doing the classic melatonin. Oh, why don't you just take some melatonin? For me, somebody suggested to me, oh, why don't you just take a nice hot bath before bed? And for you, your friend said, oh, why don't you just close your eyes? As if it's really, that simple or that easy of a problem to fix. And you also mentioned that it sounds like you felt a little bit of jealousy from your friends and family because they would describe, "Oh, man, I was able to go to bed and I was able to sleep for 10 hours, or I was able to take a nap, and it was really nice." And it kind of hurts when we hear those things because not only does it feel very lonely, but also they're not intentionally doing this, but it feels like they're kind of rubbing it in our faces, at the
Yeah.
that they're able to get this thing so easy that, we're having an exceptionally difficult time struggling with.
hmm And then like they could say all this about insomnia, but like unless you really gone through like someone like with that fear of sleeping, like you don't really know like what they're really dealing with,
Yeah.
because there's people who are like, oh, I can't sleep, but they'll fall asleep like later at night and then sleep through the whole day. Like with me, I just couldn't sleep. I would just sleep maybe 10 minutes and then wake myself up with the constant fear, my heart beating, couldn't breathe.
Mhm.
It was like it's just a whole different story than other people saying like, oh, I have insomnia, but you'll eventually sleep. But like me, I wasn't even sleeping. Yeah, and then the intrusive thoughts, like when it's like bedtime, where you're like, I'm just gonna close my eyes, your just mind is all of a sudden just full awake, like we're not full of thoughts, everything like keep telling you like am I asleep or like am I supposed to wait till I sleep? Just it was just terrible. Just
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, to go off of your point of that intrusive thought where you said, "Oh, should I wait to go to sleep?" I'm sure that you did. I know that you said that you went online, did a lot of Googling and stuff on Reddit, and you probably found a million and a half suggestions on what to do for your sleep, which made the whole thing really complicated.
yeah, there's yeah. Some people said like I switched my work schedule so I could be able to sleep in with that beer. Some people are just like, oh, this medication. Some people are
Yep.
like, this is it's I'm just stuck like this forever. And then but that's actually how I found you guys on Reddit. Someone recommended like your channel and Daniel's channel, and then I just clicked it, and then I was like, every one of your people success stories are like in the beginning, like I related to them, just that
Hmm.
fear and everything, and not like other people understanding what you're really going through. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a big reason why people do those success stories is because they want to give back, and that's exactly why you're doing this success story as well. Is because it helps make people feel way less alone, especially when you get it straight. It's one thing if I talk about it, even though I had insomnia myself, but also I'm the guy that's running the private practice. But to hear it straight from the horse's mouth from somebody like you who uh, went through the whole process as well. It it's very reassuring for people to hear. Oh, if Jill went through it and overcame it just fine, if he had the same exact fears and thoughts and concerns that I had, then maybe I can overcome it as well. And
Mhm.
when I say maybe, I mean I think that there's, so long as we start approaching it in the right way, I think that overcoming insomnia, I genuinely believe that it's inevitable. We just need a
Mhm.
guiding hand to help us out.
Yeah, like, because it's still there, like the thoughts, but it's where let's just learn and just don't let it affect you like too much, just you have to live the life you want, that's I believe is like the only way to really combat it is just like live the life just before you even had insomnia.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure, spot on. And I wonder, when you first heard about my channel and Daniel's channel, that's the Sleep Coach School. What exactly? I know you said that the success stories resonate with you, but what was like? What were some things that you changed, or some things that you started to do a little bit differently?
Just kind of like those days when you're really tired at night, you just kind of just talk to yourself like, you know what, like it's okay, you're not gonna die, like of not sleeping, like, you'll handle those days where you don't sleep like just normal, and then just you guys talked about like self care or self love. Just that's
Mm.
just really important during the like when you're going through when you're just say I'm proud of yourself and just acceptance.
Yeah,
Befriending wakefulness, like if you can't sleep during the night, just not a total end, just do stuff you like or just you like you told me to put because I used to struggle when I see the time I'll get anxious. You just like just cover the time and just do things you love and like and just sleep when you can, like after just don't look at the time.
hmm. And was it scary initially to give this sort of stuff a shot?
Yeah, like this is because like like the way like progress was so slow for me and then like I was like bro is this really like really like forever and just having like I was crying a lot just about this,
Hmm.
It just takes time, progress is not like you're gonna go keep going up, like you might go down first and then go up.
Yeah, it staggers. I tell people it's like the S&P 500, or like this, like anything in the stock market. It goes up for a bit. In general, it goes up. We'll have a crash here and there, but that's okay so long as we slowly but surely get back to how we were before this whole terrible thing started.
Yeah.
Um, totally, I had another question I wanted to. I'm drawing a blank what I wanted to ask you next. Uh, Oh yeah. Did you have a lot of doubts when you first started, when we first started working together, if this would be, if this was actually the right fit for you, because if this was the right answer for you, because yeah, you said yourself that, like, it felt like progress was very, very slow at the beginning.
Yeah. When you kind of not have when you join, you always your mind always just thinks of the negative, but once
Hmm.
hearing like your stories and just how like so much is so similar to your story, and then you're not really alone. There's people like exactly like your situation, and
Hmm.
that's why the recovery or when you talk about like what you were doing when you had insomnia, like just relating to that, like oh my, like bro, that's me. That's what I'm currently going through. And just having like 'cause there would be days where you just feel like out of it, like like depressed and like my life is over. But then just hearing that success story, like how I overcame it, or like I was like hear how they were feeling before they overcame it, and like that was exactly how I was feeling.
Hmm.
Just stuff like that. That's why like the recovery was my go-to when, or no, the recovery stories was my go-to when like things were going really south, or just
Hmm.
mindset was going really down.
So it sounds like for you that the most important part of your recovery was just knowing that you weren't alone, that there were other people out there who had the same exact problem and were working their way through it. Is that
Yeah,
fair?
yeah. It's way better to talk to like with you, like since you've gone through this stuff, it's so much way better when you talk to someone that's gone, like it's so much similar to what you're going through, and you kind of understand when you're like, I'm scared, or the feelings of anxiety, or like my life is over. Like
Yeah.
you felt that too, and
Hmm.
then just seeing you like in a way better place, like just gives just hope just gets like, bigger and bigger.
And I'm curious. I know that we've been the turning point for you was a minute ago, but what have you found nowadays? How is your life different these days?
Like uh my work, like before my like for work schedule, everything, like I'm waking up early and I don't have that dread or like that fear of like what's coming up at night anymore.
Hmm.
I was able to even go to vacation without having that fear with me, and being just not worried, like worried of not sleeping, or just being normal as everyone else, similar, like not thinking about sleep.
Yeah.
Just really like just like, oh, I could do it. People just confidence and just having poor sleep and everything is acceptable. Like, don't get me wrong, I still get thoughts like here and there. But
Sure.
now like you have like the tools to kind of just when those thoughts happen, just not not do nothing to them. Just let it be there. Like eventually your body is adapt to sleep. Eventually, your body's
Hmm.
gonna shut down. Just let it happen when like naturally. Don't force it. Don't try to fight it. Just let it be.
Yeah. And that change in outlook is, I think, the most important thing. And I would agree that you've come a very far way as far as that goes. But while that is the key to overcoming insomnia, in my opinion, the thing that everyone wants to know is how much did that actually help out our sleep? So, can you give concretely what sort of numbers you had, how much sleep you were getting before we started working together, and how much sleep you're getting now?
When we first started, probably like that was like 7 months of having insomnia.
Hmm.
I kind of got a little bit better, but I was getting like 4 hours of sleep. But just waking up early or thinking about future plans before I joined you, like it was just the fear of me. It was just the constant anxiety, constant like this, always just whatever you do in life, you're just thinking about sleep or how is it gonna affect it and all that. And then just working with you, just really just kind of just learning how to just live your life, like just accept there's gonna be days like you're not gonna have the best sleep, and that's normal. Other people that don't have insomnia, sometimes some days don't sleep, and they just
Yep.
don't think of it like, oh, just,
Yeah.
just treat it like nothing really happened. Do the stuff that you did before even you had insomnia.
Hmm. Yeah. So it sounds like you were getting 4 hours of sleep beforehand during that 7 month stretch. And how much would you say that you're getting now?
Like seven, I'll say a good seven. Weekends
Mhm.
maybe a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but
And I'm guessing that's because of your work schedule. Like during the week, you probably have to get up a little bit earlier to go to work.
yes.
Yeah.
And then even before, I forgot to mention, but I would wake up like during the chronic anxiety of the insomnia and everything, I would wake up in the middle of the night and then like you just can't go back to sleep. Like you're just full on awake or like panic mode, and it just I don't know, it's just a fear when you feel now like when that happens when you wake up in the middle of the night, like even if you can't sleep but you're okay with it, like
Yeah.
oh it's okay. You're just okay with it, and then eventually like you fall asleep, just accepting like, oh, it's no big deal. I'm just gonna lay down here,
Yeah.
just
Yeah. I
switching
mean,
that mindset.
yeah, for sure. The middle of the night is it's a completely different thing now. For both of us. Before it used to be this horrible thing of, oh shit, here I am again. Okay, what do I do now? How can I make sleep happen? What do I have to think? What do I have to do? And it was a horrible enemy before, but now it's come back. It's reverted back to how it was before our insomnia started, where it's like it's just it, it's a peaceful environment. It's an objectively peaceful environment, and there's nothing you have to really change about it. And yeah, I'll admit, last night I woke up to use the bathroom, and I was I didn't fall asleep after, I don't know how long, maybe 15 minutes or so. I don't really know. So I just went out to my living room and just hung out there for a few minutes. And at some point, it just felt nice and relaxed. I went back to bed and just conked right out. And it sounds like
Yeah,
that's sort of the same sort of thing that you're going through now. Is that fair to say?
yeah. Just kind of like treat it as a no big deal, even though before it was a big deal. Like, like yeah, just accepting it, even if there's gonna be days where you can't sleep, like certain situations in life, and just kind of just accepting it, like, oh, it's alright, no big deal. Just
Hmm.
like when it starts to become worse, it's because like we're humans, it's just we constant worry about it, constant like that
Yeah.
constant worry of it. You're just treating it like the more you like hope something, the more it's gonna bite back, or
Yeah.
I don't know, or something like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's spot on. I think that's definitely a more helpful way to look at it. I know that that's something that we worked on together when you were in my program, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different shifts in our outlook that are helpful to make, and so long as we're anything that we do that helps us get back to how we looked at sleep before is going to be helpful. And I don't remember asking you this before the call, but I'm curious: are you doing a lot of things to make sleep happen? Are you still trying to? Um, are you taking a lot of supplements? Are you taking a lot of medication? Are you doing anything special to help protect your sleep drive?
I do currently still take trazodone.
Hmm.
It was just I don't know, like I when I take it now, I just take it knowing like this doesn't really help me make me go to sleep,
Yeah,
or just having it just I don't know. I just have been taking it for like almost a year now, and I just feel like it's like normal to me. That's why I
yeah,
still kind of take it.
yeah. It's neutral. It does. It sounds like it doesn't really bother you.
Yeah, and then I'm like I remember the first year and a half I could not take a nap, or nothing. But now, like, if I'm tired, if I lay down on the couch or something, like my body just relaxes and it's able to take a nap.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how I was like, it was like huge shock. I remember the first, I'm like, what the hell?
That's yeah, that's it's amazing, right? Because we thought like, oh, I would
Yeah.
never be able to nap again. But then when it hits you out of the blue, at some point during your recovery, it's like, oh, this is real. This is actually something that's helping me overcome this for good. And would you say that the progress that you've made, how much of it was due to the sort of stuff that we talked about versus the medication?
Yeah, it just towards like the medication, like I feel they never really answer. They're just gonna when one day you have something bad, you're just gonna be like, oh, it's the medication. We want to switch on to the next one. The next one, it's gonna be like a constant fight, like trying to get the right medication. But once you just when we talked like with you, we just talked about like it's okay, like like befriending wakefulness and accepting that like some days you're not gonna sleep and it's totally fine. You're gonna have a good day tomorrow. Like no amount of sleep is not gonna determine how good your day is. Like like each like even if you're tired, you're still gonna have a good day tomorrow. And just having that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to define each and every single part of your life, whether it's
Hmm.
morning or the middle of the night or the middle of the day.
Hmm.
Yeah. I know that it sounds like you have to go and get back to work in a moment, but did you have any last minute suggestions for anyone who might be listening and who might be resonating with your story?
Yeah, I got something. Few words. I would just say like it's hard. Like it's very hard. Like it's like it put me like this is probably the worst thing like mentally I ever been in my life. But just know that like there is hope. With the right teaching and the right mindset and everything, like you're it's gonna get better. It's like trust, like it's going to get better. Even though like it doesn't feel like it or you're still like struggling just little by little, it's going to get better.
Hmm.
And like I know how hard it is, you know, just thinking your life is ruined and like not enjoying life at all anymore. But now this, like living life to my fullest, like it does get better. You just give it time and you have the right approach towards everything, you know.
Yeah.
It really helps kind of like obviously it's not good to go through it, but once you go through it and you kind of like understand everything, like it's the way of life now, like with everything else, you know, just more of like you know, like anxiety, all this certain situations in life, like it's the same thing, you know, like just acceptance and just like, oh, it's all right, don't give in to it more and more.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of people often, just to go off of what you said at the end there, a lot of people who have gone through insomnia and recovered are almost grateful for the experience, as awful as it was, because they feel like there's a lot that they've learned about how to handle other situations. I mean, insomnia can
Yeah,
be the most brutal teacher there is, but it can be a pretty valuable lesson that we learn. It's like,
yeah,
oh, maybe I should apply, maybe I can apply this stuff to other parts of my life as well.
yeah. Because before about mental health and everything, like I thought it was just something that you could just work out and do stuff, but like now, like if you physically gone through it, like mental health is something serious. Like it's
Mm,
scary. It's yeah. That's, this made me like realize I like you know it's this is something that like needs to be worked on and like people need hope. You know, just,
yeah.
like, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. No, I mean, very well said, Joe. I think you had a lot of you shared a lot of wisdom during during the success story that I think is going to be very helpful for a lot of people.
That's why like I have to give back because I told myself like I used to even pray to God or like like if I like ever recover or ever this, I tell him I'm gonna help people help people out and try to find their way out through it too, or someone even similar or not. You
It's pretty noble of you, and
yeah.
yeah, I think that I think you've done exactly that with this. I mean, in the same way that other people's success stories have helped you out, um, I think that people are going to get a lot out of. I think they're going to get a lot out of hearing your own story and the insights that you've learned and collected along the way.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think we can wrap it up there. Jill, is fantastic to have you on the program. I've loved talking to you and hearing your story. And yeah, if you want to ever touch base again, you're more than happy to reach out whenever you want.
I got you. Thank you, John, for everything. Like, you
Yeah, of
really
course.
changed my life for the better. I really do appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. I'm grateful for the opportunity to help you out. So I'm happy to hear that.
I got you. Have a good one, John.